where do you see combat design in like 20 years?
But yeah, in terms of where I see combat design growing, I think we're going to see a whole lot of really like we're going to see more vacant junior roles open for combat design. Like that's recently become a thing. Because combat design is such a hard field to get into because it's usually prioritized for seniors or leads or principals. And that's because combat design is a super interdisciplinary role and it's so fast paced where you're kind of taking ownership of a particular part of the game and you're pulling in every single department all together and you're grabbing all these dependencies and now it's on you to implement all those dependencies and validate that in the quickest way possible. And
Yeah.
you need to have a sense of really, really great trust. Um, and it you need to have that. You need to have people skills. You need to have communication skills. You need to take initiative. You need to be somewhat production oriented by noticing and alleviating people's pain, right? So I think we will see more junior combat design roles and more internships that are focused on combat design. Um, taking us from understanding or collaborating with specific departments rather than all the departments involved in combat design and working their way up to communicating with all the departments. So maybe like a junior combat designer would be working directly with animation, and then they would then as they get more experience, they would start to get access to art and they would start talking with both art and animation. And as they move forward and as they get, more experience, they start communicating with all of these departments. So that's where I see the future of combat design. I think it's going to be offered to more junior roles in the future, and it's already been happening. Like some studios are doing this right now, and in you know combat design, combat design should be offered to more. It should be accessible to these folks that are.
Is it because combat sets the tone for what, like, let's just say League of Legends, if I'm going to create a new champion, if I'm the combat designer for this brand new champion, the combat is where the nucleus of the idea is. And as you extend outward, the art, the animation, the narrative, all has to support what is the combat, because at the core of combat is the gameplay. And so for a lot of games, combat is basically the game. Like that's why you're playing. You're playing to fight something and to win and to lose and to progress.
Yeah, that's exactly you put it perfectly.
It's so cool. It's kind of like in gaming, like with product, if I can just share, like a lot of times now product is moving into more of a decision making role in terms of what is the what that we're doing and what is the why. Like why are we doing this and what are we doing? But before, that was something that was handled by a lot of different people wearing a lot of different hats. So maybe a producer or maybe a game designer did it. And now they're trying to kind of like start kind of focusing more on centralizing that role. And maybe combat design in a similar tangent is kind of where it's going. You need people that can flesh this idea out outwards.
Yeah.
And I want to cover again those skills you mentioned, because I had a call with a Lisa game designer yesterday. The episode come out from, I think, from what we're talking about now in like 2 weeks. But she was stressing so much how important it is to generate buy-in amongst teams, to be social. Again, we talked about asking questions, knowing how to work within a team, knowing how to say no kindly.
Yes.
What are kind of things that you've recently started in a new role? What are things that kind of helped you kind of ingratiate yourself in the culture or within a team that others are listening and thinking, maybe I can apply that to my next role? Or
Get to know the team. Get to know who they are. Get to know what they do. Get to know why they do what they do. You know, don't silo yourself. Communicate with these folks. Understand why their contributions are so integral to the experience that you all want to provide to your players. It's very important. So get to know your team, ask them questions, not just about how they can help you, but how you can help them. Talk about what their expectations are from you. Ask them what their expectations are from you. Creates a sense of calm. It creates a sense of just, they're going to be
Clarity.
open and clarity. Yeah. It's so important. And there's a sense of relief that I feel from people when I tell them, what do you expect from me? Because they will tell you, and you got to take that into account to ensure that you alleviate them. You don't want to be pulling people, from their priorities out of nowhere. So communicate with your team, get to know who they are, ask them what their expectations are, right? And apply those expectations, not fully, but if you can, just, if you can meet them halfway, meet them halfway.
100%. 100%. Meet them halfway. It's. I think what you just described is what a lot of people maybe need to sometimes. Myself personally as well, I've gone through that growth, which is understanding that you are part of a value chain that is delivering towards an output, and every person in that chain needs something done to make their input easier to generate. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
we sometimes don't realize that we're part of a chain. We're part of a network of inputs that then go to one output, which can be the game, can be a certain part of the game, a feature, a character, whatever it is. And the sooner you can understand that chain, the better you can find your place in it, and then you're part of the whole process, and then you're locking in, rather than sitting there thinking, oh, how do I do this? You just got to go ask, got to go talk, get to know your team.
Yeah. Very much.